This is you, and this is your best friend. But you never see them anymore because you live far apart. And also, you live in the past. You send them a letter, but it's moving at the speed of horse. You make new friends while you're waiting. You gain some weight. You get married. You have a kid. You have 2 kids. You get cancer and die. And at your funeral, your family receives the response to your original letter. It says, Lamau. All letters, no matter how important, would take weeks to arrive. It's hard to imagine when the entire world was that slow. Today, we communicate at the speed of light. Wizards invented radios and phones which let any 2 people communicate in seconds. Broadcast centers let special people speak to everyone all at once, and then the internet gave everybody else the same power. Starting with Facebook, a dozen platforms made the internet user-friendly, and for the first time, everyone was connected. All the knowledge in the world was at our fingertips, and we all made the same realization. The whole world is stupid. What are these people doing? They can't spell correctly? They want me to join pyramid schemes and casino websites? They want me to renew my car warranty, but I've never bought a car before. Every comment section is just this guy who's mad at this guy, who's upset with this guy, who hates this guy because he posted a meme. Some people make good stuff on the internet, but it gets buried in garbage. We have access to all the knowledge in the world, and it turns out most of it is not worth knowing. If every human uploaded 1 second of content to the internet, it would take over 220 years to watch it all. You don't have time for that. If you want to sleep 8 hours and work 8 hours every day, you only have 14 hours to waste on the internet. So you need help. The endless barrage of signals is too much. We use algorithms and social mechanics to filter the content we see. Only the best content makes it to us, and since everybody else does the same thing, we all end up listening to the same people. The internet is a competition for attention and the winners take it all. As social media platforms became more popular, random people started getting a lot of attention. YouTubers were getting thousands and then millions of views. They basically had their own private TV shows. It made them ask the age-old question: how could this make me rich? Getting millions of views might be exciting, but you can't eat them. You still need the essentials like food and clothes and a bed and AirPods. The whole point of the economy is to help you turn the things you make into the things you want. Before money, everyone had to make all their own stuff. But over time, humans realized that if each person makes one thing, they can do it really well. Then we just trade for everything we want and everyone ends up richer. These days, you only have to do one specific job. It could be baking cookies. You do it over and over, and in return you get diverse goods from millions of people that you've never met. And all of them are just doing one thing too. When we buy and sell in the open market, everybody wins. It's voodoo magic. Online personalities are just another part of the system. They specialize in mass-producing attention, and they do it in a lot of different ways. Most of them are entertainers. Some review products, and others post wholesome selfies. We mentally grouped them into one category called influencers. They sell the attention to businesses. Nobody goes outside anymore. Businesses can only sell products if they get attention online. They buy attention from influencers by playing ads. It's a super effective way for businesses to mildly annoy millions of people. But the rare individual who buys something makes it worthwhile. Typically, 1,000 views cost $2, but sometimes it costs 10 and sometimes 50 cents. Depends on who's watching. On average, the value of you watching one ad is about 1/5 of a penny. That is not a lot of money. If we measure in views, a gallon of milk would cost $1,800, a Nintendo Switch would cost $150,000, and a Tesla Model S would cost $44 million. That's more people than the population of Canada. Creators earn a lot more on sponsorships and merch, but it's still only pennies per view. Tickets for movies and concerts cost multiple dollars. Online views are thousands of times cheaper. It's because the internet made the world so much more connected. Talking to everyone has never been easier. The biggest influencers are driving Teslas around mansions on yachts because they have audiences that are the size of countries. That's the new normal, and not many people appreciate how crazy that is. In the past, when people got audiences of this size, they caused major shifts in the world. Many of the most influential people were social leaders, religious leaders, and world leaders. They're all leaders. They had a big impact because so many people listened to them. Even scientists often influence the world through other people. Einstein didn't actually build any nuclear bombs or reactors. He just convinced everyone else that it was possible. And that's not very surprising because every big change in the world is a team effort. No matter how talented you are, you're just one person. You can't do much alone. But if you have attention, you can spread ideas. And when people agree with your ideas, attention turns into support. Suddenly, you're a leader who can direct millions of people towards a common goal. That's how a politician gets elected president. They start with ideas and a few supporters. Then they raise millions of dollars with the sole purpose of buying more attention. Influencers already have attention, so they're halfway to being elected. If they start spreading ideas that people support, it'll spread like wildfire. This isn't theoretical. Donald Trump already did it. He was a reality TV star, but when he ran for president, his attention turned into support. And this surprised a lot of people who underestimate influencers. They have a lot of attention. And personally, I trust Mr. Beast and Mark Rober more than most politicians. I don't think it's unusual for people to respect their favorite influencers more than they respect professionals. And yet many older people only respect others when they're wearing a suit. There's a social stigma against anyone who looks unprofessional. People who grew up before the internet won't take you seriously if you make dick jokes. Appearing clean and formal is how you earn their trust. But for younger people who spend a lot of time on the internet, it's the opposite. Wearing a suit and tie makes you look like a corporate puppet. Dick jokes show people that you're being yourself. Look, it's getting bigger, oh my god, whoa, look out. This is how you know I'm a human. For a Zoomer, trust is inversely correlated with looking professional. Informal things are appealing because they're authentic. It's refreshing to see people who are being themselves. It's mostly young people who feel this way right now, but young people are a good indicator of the future. In a few decades, the young will be old and the old will be dead. Eventually, everybody will be internet native. People debate the quality of this and that mainstream media source, but I've never met a Zoomer who gives a shit about any of them. These are the major news sources now. That's where the attention is. If leaders want to stay influential, they should make less yard signs and more TikToks. The 21st century's crazy. The government's spending trillions of dollars and almost everyone wants to save the world, but prices and temperatures just keep going up. Country-sized problems are complicated. People want to help, but they don't know how. That's what leaders are for. A leader is someone who turns a complex problem into a plan. The problem isn't resources, it's a lack of leadership. And if we want to fix our leadership problems, it's going to involve influencers. Even when scientists, doctors, and politicians have great ideas to improve the world, nobody gives a shit if they never hear about it. Ideas need attention to survive. That's why it's so significant that influencers have all the attention. These people should either become influencers or make friends with Jimmy, but most won't. They'll fail to adapt to the influencer world. They'll say to themselves, those kids are just entertainers. They do silly dances and play silly games. Nobody takes them very seriously. Meanwhile, Jimmy and his audience keep doing bigger and bigger projects, gradually stealing the spotlight and fixing the world. And after each project, he says to himself, Lamau.